We're going to the Mar-a-Lago case gets destroyed in appeal. Really good for Trump. This is good news for him. It's been a while since we've caught up with Judge Aileen Cannon and the case at Mar-a-Lago, which is ancient history, but still I like to see how these things wrap up. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. This is where the happy patriots are. Let's watch the article. So here we are on the Hill. Appeals court agrees to toss Mar-a-Lago case. That concludes the Mar-a-Lago case. These are all the Jack Smith planted evidence, all fake.
Yeah, so that famous photograph, what we have now learned, and the government has had, Jack Smith and his prosecutors have had to admit that that was staged. And those top secret classified sheets that all the public saw and said, oh my God, look at those top secret documents, those were placed there by the FBI. What Jack Smith admitted in court this week was that, in his word, they mishandled the classified documents and misrepresented those to the court. Maria, that's a kind way of saying we tampered with the evidence, then we lied to the court about it. And they got caught when President Trump's lawyers and the other co-defendants raised this issue and said, look, the documents here don't match up. The documents that were presented to us don't match the digitally scanned records of when they were taken from Mar-a-Lago. And Jack Smith, not only did they tamper with that and lie to the court about it, but he's now admitted to the court that he doesn't know how that happened. He's only offered a number of possible explanations for how that could have happened. So he's absolutely blown the chain of custody. And again, he has a prosecutor, lead prosecutor in this case, Jay Bratt, who met with White House counsel and a representative of the National Archives several times in the weeks before Jack Smith was even appointed. This reeks of crossfire hurricane when the Obama-Biden administration fabricated evidence before the FISA court, lied to the court about it to pursue Donald Trump, and now we're seeing it again in this classified documents case. The judge could dismiss this case at any point in time, Maria. I think the only reason that she hasn't is she wants to document this publicly.
Put all of these cover records and things that say top secret and stuff. He arranged all these pieces. This image contained in a court filing by Department of Justice and partially redacted by source shows documents seized during FBI search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
If I get it right, the fake witch hunt started by the DOJ having to do with books and records, and Biden had many more, and he wasn't protected by the Presidential Records Act. I was. But all of that fake stuff that took the lives of people, I mean, literally destroyed people. People are destroyed because of what they did. Destroyed. But we got to be president. But Biden did it for 40 years. He did it when he was a senator. That was illegal. And they ruled it was illegal. How about that? They said, it's illegal, but he's unfit to stand trial. So he can stand and be president of the United States, but the prosecutor found that he's unfit for trial. I was going to use that as a major talking point, but I never got to use it because all of a sudden I had a new candidate who was also sort of unfit to stand trial, right? Cannon was thrown off the case. They dropped their appeal because he had no case. They dropped all of that, the lawsuits against us. They lost the lawsuit. So this is deranged Jack Smith. So he dropped the lawsuits. He was told to by the DOJ because they had no lawsuit. They lost in court in front of a very strong and a very brilliant judge. They lost in court, and that pertained to other cases in other courts. So he wanted to do a report just before I take office, probably. So he'll do like a 500-page report, and it'll be a fake report, just like the investigation was a fake investigation. And I said, well, wait a minute. This guy was thrown off in disgrace. In disgrace. He's going back to The Hague or wherever they're going to send him. In disgrace. Because he failed so badly. Because it was a fake case against a political opponent. They thought they were going to use this to beat me.
A federal appeals court agreed to dismiss the Mar-a-Lago documents case, ending an appeal of a decision toppling special counsel Jack Smith, and effectively ending the criminal case against Trump's two co-defendants. That's Nauta and I forgot the other guy's name, but it's basically his security guard. Trump got let off for immunity, and then they kept the case open on his 2 security guards just to be jerks about it. They were always only after Trump. They were only trying to get those other 2 guys, Nauta and De Oliveira, to get them to flip on Trump, and it ended up going up to the appeals. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals agreed to dismiss the case at the request of Trump Justice Department, a reversal from the stance under the Biden administration, which was challenging a ruling from the U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon that found Smith was unlawfully appointed. Now, this actually sets a real good precedent for President Trump and his other cases that are still pending. Remember the New York case where they not prosecuted, but gave him his sentencing and said, you don't have to do anything, no time or anything, but you're still a felon. Under President Biden, prosecutors argued Cannon ignored 50 years of precedent on the authority and appointment of special counsels, including a Supreme Court ruling. Now, this is the Hill trying to make things look bad on Trump and Aileen Cannon. That's their bias, at least in this article. Attorney General Pam Bondi last week praised Cannon's ruling, calling the judge brilliant, while adding that special counsels won't be used constantly under her leadership. Bondi, during her confirmation, declined to say whether she would appoint a special counsel to investigate Trump if he was accused of wrongdoing. Why would she investigate Trump? Shouldn't she be investigating Biden if he's accused of wrongdoing? The approval of the motion also brings to an end the ongoing criminal case against valet Walt Nauta, that's Nauta, and property manager Carlos de Oliveira, who were accused of aiding Trump as he sought to conceal hundreds of documents from his presidency, including 300 with classified markings from the Justice Department and his own attorney. This is so far in the past, it almost doesn't even count as today's news. But it is important that this stuff get wrapped up, because Alvin Bragg has said a lot of these cases, once Trump leaves office, we'll pick him right back up and his immunity will be over and we can prosecute him. The dismissal is likely a spur another push by Democrats to review the volume of Smith's report reviewing the Mar-a-Lago cases. Now, remember, Smith had 2 reports. The first version they said you could not release. So he did a simpler second version and tried to redact a few names and release it. And then I believe it was who's the oversight committee or Congress said you cannot release that document. And then Aileen Cannon also said you cannot release that document. It was just meant to slander Trump for the election. Now the election's over. Smith's volume dealing with January 6th has already been released, but former Attorney General Merrick Garland agreed not to release the Mar-a-Lago volume, given that if the 11th Circuit sided with prosecutors, the case against the 2 men would resume. But now that's not going to happen. They're going to drop that too. Lawmakers on the Senate Judiciary Committee, that's it, recently requested the Mar-a-Lago volume, arguing it was key to their review of Kash Patel, Trump's nominee to lead the FBI. See how this is all connected to his appointments? Patel testified before a grand jury in the case after claiming he saw Trump declassify some documents during his first term in office, corroborating a key aspect of their defense. What was the big defense? Well, if Trump as president declassified any of these documents, which he claimed he declassified all of them, then it's not illegal for him to have them, because he declassified them. You see that? You only get in trouble if they're classified documents. That's going to be a short article. That's all we're going to do today on this topic. Good news is this case is done, at least at the appeals level. They're siding with Trump. The Hill is crying. Democrats are crying. Jack Smith is further embarrassed, as if he can go even further. He's invisible. That guy gone. Jack Smith gone. Now the only question is, will Pam Bondi counter-investigate him? Let me know in the comments below if you're ready for Trump to move on and just to drop all this stuff in the past because he has greater things to accomplish? Or do we have to go back in the past and investigate the Democrats on why they did this to keep it from happening again? I'm Doug in exile.